Good afternoon. This is a bit of a impromptu reading. I was receiving messages about Chiron, the wounded healer energies, and I looked up the astrology for today, and it was speaking about the fact that Chiron is sextiling our north node. And as I pointed out in an earlier post this morning, there were some energies that I picked up back when I did the March reading about our North Node, our destiny, and this time window that we're in right now, and how it's very important as we are in this space here where we're just kind of starting these new beginnings, these seeds. Things have not yet come to fruition. And then next week with the new moon, we're kind of stepping into that portal energy, that doorway in which, the eclipses are coming, and we're getting into this north node energy, and we're starting anew, and we're charging forward into this new purpose, this new destiny, this new path. So watch a little bit of that reading. But the fact that Chiron will be, I believe it was actually tomorrow, that Chiron will be sextiling the North Node, says to me that there is a opportunity for healing with Chiron, sextiling and balancing nicely and harmonizing nicely with the North Node. So I should probably give a little background about Chiron and what he represents. And then I'm going to ask the cards to kind of give us a little bit of wisdom about, maybe that wound that we have to heal, what we can learn from that wound, and what our lesson from Chiron is, and maybe how it affects our destiny and our purpose and our path. So we'll see what the cards say when we get into it. But, Chiron is this story of, he's like this paradox of woundedness. So the myth from Chiron is that he's a centaur, and he became known as the wounded healer because he was abandoned at birth by his parents. And there was the whole history behind that. It was very sad. But he was fostered by Apollo, god of light and enlightenment. And under his guidance, Chiron became a scholar, a teacher, a healer, a prophet, tutoring figures in their youth. And, he received his own wound. He found himself another wound, a physical wound besides the wound of abandonment that he could not heal. And, both these wounds, they were no fault of his own. And he tried to cure himself, and he kind of banished himself, and, he was condemned to this fate. He relinquished his immortality, and with it his suffering and pride. So, his first meeting with reality is from that abandonment that he experienced by his mother and father. And then that theme of abandonment, it explains his legacy, because the parental abandonment of him as a child, it set the stage for this complex that he had, always being afraid of being abandoned, and the paradox of suffering in his myth. It reminds us that tragedy sometimes is a part of life for which there's no fix, and we have no control over the ways it manifests in our life. But, it also, the whole myth, it's that paradox of healing. It implies that, we embody this not one role or not one identity, but we could be the wounded victim, the one who wounds as the perpetrator, and the one who heals. So that's like the three faces of Chiron. These are symbolic of the identities that that we rotate between, and the roles we play as we go through our own healing process. So you could look where Chiron is in your natal birth chart, and that would give you a little bit more. But we can begin as the wounded or the one who wounds, and the victim becomes the bully becomes the victim, and so on. So the lesson for us is, how can we balance this relationship to our fears without becoming mired in this vicious cycling between those roles of the wounded one and the one who wounds. So, so we're going to keep re-encountering them over time. And then if we become more self-aware and, not of our powerlessness, but the power that comes within embracing this fear that we need to control and confront, these inner wounds. And, to become the healer does not necessarily mean that you go to this linear progression from one state to another, but it's an honest and ongoing process, a confrontation with yourself, in the way that you take in, interpret, and act on the feelings that come up when we're dealing with people from the outside. And if we're able to look at the situation but detach ourselves so we're not acting reactively or defensively from our places of pain, we can then tap into that empathy and that compassion, and then we become the true healer. We've overcome our wounds. So, that is my dog barking right now at someone outside that he knows, but he reacts very defensively because he has been wounded. He's a rescue dog. He's been wounded by people. He's been wounded by other animals. He's been wounded by life. And he is always going to feel defensive. He's always going to be in that victim role. And he has a big, big heart. So, I've never seen him be the bully. He's always that victim, that fear, that wound is always within him. No matter how much love that we give him, his first instinct will always be to react with that defensiveness. So I digress, but let's get into the reading. So, I'd like to pull out a card to first discuss perhaps what these wounds are, and whoever's watching this, how this wound relates to your destiny. So perhaps you are meant to be some type of a healer. Perhaps you have these gifts that you have gotten through your wounds and that you have learned, and that, you can heal these wounds right now so that it's not holding you back from your destiny and your purpose and your plan. And obviously, that's healing is never linear. There's this spiral, but we're entering into this new energy with the new moon and the eclipse energy, and these eclipses offer this magical window of opportunity to heal this wound right now, and the wound that directly affects your North Node, your true destiny, and perhaps what's been holding you back from stepping into that and from charging forward, which, it harmonizes tomorrow with the North Node energy. And, maybe as we near the end of the month here, and this opportunity comes up for you to really step into your purpose, this wound will not be what's holding you back. At least you can begin that healing process. So let's see. Oh, this King of Wands has been coming up so much. 9 of Pentacles and the Fool. Okay. Ace of Cups, 10 of Wands, and the 10 of Pentacles. Okay. So the fact that I see these 2 10s here, that's a good sign. So that means that there is opportunity for the completion of this cycle of this particular wound. So here we see, I'm just going to start with those first because, we have the 10 of Wands. We have, to me, this is one of the core wounds. And this 10 of Pentacles is saying that the opportunity that it provides will definitely directly affect your destiny and your purpose, because this card to me speaks of family and community energies and a purpose that you have within your your community or your family a role that you have to play for healing. And this beautiful tree of life energy, it affects so many, and it creates so many branches on that tree. And you have this important role to play in the healing of your community, and the coming together. And maybe there's some philanthropic work here, there's some healing, there's some teaching, there's some guiding, there's a healing in your family lineage that you perhaps are playing a pivotal role in. And this Ten of Wands to me is saying that perhaps part of your wound is something that you're doing that is overburdening yourself. You're taking on too much of other people's burdens, other people's pains, other people's sorrows. And perhaps you've always felt like you were, perhaps you saw the victim in them. Perhaps you were in this painful place, and perhaps you wanted to give them something to give them hope and strength and healing, and to get them out of that place where they were feeling continuously hurt and they could not step into their place of healing. And perhaps you felt the need to do that for others, and perhaps that's a big part of your wound that's holding you back, because it comes from your heart. You have, and I feel like your heart is still open, but this is telling me here that your heart wants to open more. And in order to open that heart chakra more, in order to be able to share what you have in your heart with others, and to affect that outer community, to affect that family lineage that's part of your purpose, you need to fill up your own cup a bit more, and take care of your own self, because you're overburdening, you're carrying too much, and you're in this place of, to me, I see these horns, like you're very stuck in that energy of I need to fix, I need to help, I need to heal others for them. And that is not your purpose. Your purpose is to guide them, to bring people together, to provide resources for them, but to not do it at your own detriment and your own pain. And this King of Wands too is telling you, like, you have rised up out of your own pain. You have seen a lot of pain. You have risen like that phoenix from the ashes. And, this is your Chiron strength. This to me speaks nothing of anything that's a wound. It's those you've risen from them. You've transformed, and you've done this yourself. You've gone on your own journey, and perhaps you're feeling a little bit not confident in yourself, because this card's been coming up a lot lately in the collective, as with the fires of Beltane, it came up again too. It's like you're not trusting in your own strength and ability to rise like that phoenix, to transform, to create your own path, your own tune, your own destiny, out of this heart space, out of wanting to bring together this community for healing. This Nine of Pentacles, you're doing this independently already, and there's a future where all of the things around you are coming to fruition, but you're burdening yourself right now too much to be able to take in this beautiful abundance, and you independently healed yourself. You have this heart, you have this love that you want to share. And when I see here, it's like you're not allowing others to do their own healing. You're taking on those burdens for them. You cannot light your own fire. You cannot rise from those ashes. You cannot fill up your own cup if you don't have anything left, because you are done. You are stuck at the bottom of this mountain. You cannot ascend. You cannot emerge, to fully be able to give what you have in your heart. And I see this beautiful Fool card here. And perhaps you're feeling a little bit scared to start this new adventure, scared to go it alone, but you've already been doing that. And, maybe you helping other people in this way made you feel a little bit less alone. Maybe you felt like you had your little flock of baby sheep around you that you were protecting and fixing and healing. And you're kind of afraid to go out into that great unknown and to start that new journey because, you're going to feel naive in some way, but you won't, because the Fool to me says that you are no one's fool. You have so much wisdom. You have done things alone. You will continue to be an independent free thinker. You follow your intuition. You follow your passion. You listen to your heart. And your heart is opening more as you help these people, but at the same time, you are just wounding yourself. You're stubbornly stuck in that place where you are becoming your own victim. You are treating yourself in the way that, you would not treat others, and in order for you to make the biggest difference in your community or to heal that family line or whatever your purpose is, I'm going to be doing some more readings on that North Node as we inch closer towards it. It's a very important energy right now, and it requires its own reading. So I will give it that sacred moment. But for now, it's you're on the precipice of this new purpose, and I feel like you'll be feeling that energy to leap forward. You'll be starting on this beautiful new adventure, but you cannot take all of those people with you. You cannot guide them the whole way, for they have to do it themselves. And I feel like this Ten of Wands is asking you to walk away from that past where you've overburdened yourself and you've tried to fix others, and you've taken on their pains and for them, and it has hurt you. So this Ten of Pentacles is saying, like, you have this beautiful destiny, this beautiful future, this beautiful soul family, this beautiful connection to your community that's really important. Your intuition is on fire here. Your heart is ready to expand and to open and to give and to receive a little bit of love for yourself too. You don't have to do it all alone. Maybe somebody wants to help you, But I think mostly this is saying to take care of yourself right now, to engage in this radical self-care, because you'll need it on your new adventure. You are waiting to blossom and grow, and you don't have to fear that past, that if you walk away from those people that you've been helping, that they cannot survive without you, because they will. You've given them the best of your heart. You've shown them that you can rise from that fire, that you can be that phoenix, and you have others that you need to inspire now. You have other things that you have a purpose to fulfill. And this Chiron wound is saying that you need to stop repeating those wounds by hurting yourself and putting others in that victim role and keeping them there because you think it's helping them. And your intention is good. Your heart is open. Your intuition is, you are helping them, but you're hurting yourself by doing it. And you need to release those burdens for yourself, release those attachments, and know that you have done your part, and there is another part that you need to fulfill. There's a new journey that you need to go on, and it's going to inspire more confidence in you, more joy, more happiness, more bliss, and allow your true self to shine. Not the self that puts your own self aside to help others, to fix others, to heal others, when that perhaps is not your job. There's other people that require your healing, and they will need it more from you. They will need that nurturing from you. But you can't do that until you take care of your own heart and start to create those boundaries and start to release those burdens and open your heart to sharing your gifts, sharing your wisdom, sharing your wounds that you have survived with others, instead of, you know, becoming the fixer and hurting yourself. There is another purpose that you have to fulfill, and it's going to require your energy to be more heart-centered and taking care of your own heart and coming from a place of hope and joy and optimism and not stuck in the pains of the past. So, I feel like this reading isn't finished, but this is all I'm going to be doing for today. But I hope this provided just a little insight into the Chiron wounds that exist within you, and how it's holding you back from your true destiny and your true purpose and what you signed up here to be. And, some of these Chiron wounds could go back to past lives as well, because that's what this North and South node represent here. And, some of those karmic patterns need to be released in order to step into your true purpose, your true destiny. So, I might do some more readings on that too. But this was very insightful today, I hope. A lot of deep knowledge from Chiron. So I hope this helped. Blessed be.